B, what do you think has been the most positive development? I think we've been out here a month. I think we came out here July 21st or something.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think has been the most positive development since we've been out here?
You mean specifically about football, or?
If you got something else, I'm into it.
I'm going with the O-line, D-line. They invested in big boys because they knew they had to get better. And I think just watching the game last week, without all of the people that they invested in available, they look way better. They look better than they did last year in a short period of time. And I'm only looking forward to even better. I can take it to another position. The cornerback, the defensive back room, looks drastically better. They still have to play, but it looks better to me right now.
I think those are both real positives we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I think the O-line specifically, the work we saw them get in New England, when I think a lot of people didn't have the vantage point we had, and watching Tunsil just toss dudes around.
Yep.
We had Baldinger on yesterday, and he said Tunsil might not be the best left tackle in football, but he's among them. And the knock on Tunsil's penalties, and even in in that work in New England, he did get flagged.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way Tunsil has played, the way Connerly has come on, I think Wiley played well last year and has been just a dog this camp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited about the O-line. I'm really excited about their ability to run the football. I think, like, the Bill story was nothing but fun until we realized it probably meant the departure of Brian Robinson. And I like B-Rob just as a human, and I want him to land in a good spot. But watching a seventh-round rookie running back come in and be that impressive has been pretty darn cool. I also think seeing these big guys, seeing Jacob Martin against Cincy, I thought was really encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
I think we know Kinlaw, Wise, like there's a body of work there.
Remember I kept talking about Martin?
Yeah, you liked him as
the whole offseason. I went and then you look at him and you, now that we have Von Miller, go look at some of Von Miller's pass rush moves.
I mean, it's crazy.
He's damn near on the ground when he's going around the edge. And guess what? That 6'5", 6'6" offensive lineman can't get that low and still have power. And this dude, Jacob Martin, had a lot of that with him. I didn't know if he'll be good or what, but I just saw something that caught my attention.
That bend, baby. You
Yep.
got to have that bend. I saw an interesting tweet from Rossini this morning. So we saw a bunch of trades yesterday in the NFL. A bunch of them. All kind of similar depth pieces that probably weren't going to make a roster get traded for late picks. Just running through. There were 4 trades in the NFL yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs traded Sky Moore and a 7th to the 49ers for a 6th. Sky Moore, there was a lot of excitement about him. He's really done very little in the NFL. And that nets you a 6th. Broncos trade Devon Vele to the Saints for a 4th and a 7th. I think people were pretty stunned by the compensation that New Orleans gave up for Devon Vele. I don't know. What's your text thread from down there?
A 4th and a 7?
Yeah. A 4th. He's a young man that had 41 catches for 475 yards last year. Now, granted, you are getting him on a rookie deal, and he was just drafted. But he was a 7th-round pick last year, and they gave up a 4th. You have 3 years of team control, though. So a lot of NFL trades are determined by the contract value, and that has some real value. Still, I think that was a fairly surprising compensation. The Vikings traded defensive tackle Harrison Phillips and a 7th to the Jets for 2 6ths. And then the Browns traded a defensive tackle, Jawan Briggs, and a 7th to the Jets for a 6th. So the Jets had some 6ths to work with, and they sent 3 of them away to bring in 2 new D tackles. Clearly, the Jets didn't like their defensive tackle depth.
They didn't.
And these are the kind of moves that make sense. Like basically, teams are either getting rid of guys that they don't see in their plans that didn't work out the way they expected, or they're getting rid of guys where they're deep, like that Vikings D line really deep. So trading away one of their guys makes a lot of sense.
Deep, or they just basically look at the fact like, okay, this is going to be a problem. We're not going to sign this person later on. Let's see if we can get something from him.
Right.
And you get multiple 6s and 7s and things like that. You know what? That's assets to make moves later.
So Rossini tweeted out this morning, sources, teams making calls in search of running back additions include the Saints, Browns, and Chiefs. We've kind of talked about this. I think the Browns or the Chiefs would make a lot of sense for Brian Robinson.
The Chiefs would be a great move for him. Andy.
Sure. And as much as people love Pacheco out there, he has missed some time. I think Miami remains a real option for Brian Robinson. The fact that Sky Moore, who's had really light NFL production, was able to net back, a late round pick. Sky Moore is going into the last year of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a catch last year. His best season was his rookie year when he had 250 yards receiving. I mean, just not a guy that's done a heck of a lot. He did have some playoff success when they won the Super Bowl back in his rookie season. But Brian Robinson has proven a much higher level of play than that through 3 years. Granted, running backs, whether it's fair or not, are not graded on the same caliber as other players in the NFL. But I mean, Sky Moore in 2 seasons in 3 seasons of the NFL has fewer than 500 receiving yards, and they moved him in a 7th for a 6th. I think there's probably if you're an NFL team and you like Brian Robinson, but you also know he's not in the plans here, like he's not going to be here. That's become incredibly obvious. Are you trading for him? Or are you just waiting it out?
Well, if you like him and you had a grade on him when he was coming out and you really think he can help your team out, you go and trade for him. Because if all it takes is one more team to get involved and then you say, well, I'll wait till you get released, well, you may not be able to get to him when he get released. So it comes down to that aspect too. Like the person, you can they're going to release him. And you know that. But you don't know if you're going to be the person to be able to sign it.
Totally.
So you go trade. You try to make a trade. And there may be another group that can't give up that, the same aspect. The asset you'll give up. You got to make the move for how you think it'll work for you, best for you.
If you think he's a guy that helps you right away, and he's a guy it's plug and play within minutes, like, okay, he's the perfect 1B running back for us, and it costs you a 6th, hell yeah, rather than risk losing him in free agency. So I do think there's a market there. I think we got to just kind of watch it unfold. Clearly around the league, the phones are heating up.
I think when we watch the way things have moved here and how people move here, there are other GMs that they look, I got somebody to help me today. I'll give up this 5th round pick, this 6th round. It don't make a difference to me. A lot of people put so much emphasis on the actual pick. Oh, 5th rounder, 4th rounder. If I got a player that's already has produced, and I feel that my toolage, my stuff is going to help him better, I give a damn about the draft pick. I got a guy who's almost a finished product here. I'm not, because I could go draft another guy in the 4th round, 5th round, 6th round. Guess what? He could come in here with multiple problems already.
Dude, Shane Steichen is playing Daniel Jones ahead of Anthony Richardson because he needs to win. He's not worried about that. What was AR, the 4th overall pick? Whenever that was, 3 years ago. One dude I'm amazed by is how Chris Ballard, the GM out there, just continues to keep his job. Maybe that'll change now. Maybe he was tight with Irsay, and Irsay has passed. maybe that'll kind of maybe there'll be some changes there now. I don't know, but like that's a big swing and a miss with the 4th overall pick, and clearly the organization is okay with moving forward in a different manner because they don't get to make that call that Danny Dimes is your QB1 unless everybody's on board with it.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that thing doesn't make sense.
But then again, if you have been watching Anthony Richardson play, you can make it down that he probably not the one. So let's see if this other guy can try and be something in a different place.
You imagine a true QB1 subbing himself out because he's tired?
That right there.
You remember when Jaden was passing, like barely could catch his breath at the end of the Atlanta game?
Yeah.
You think that dude would ever come out of the game?
But what I'm saying is that one move right there may be the one thing that made everybody lose favor with him. He fell out of favor because a guy that said, I'm tired, in a quarterback in the game?
Tired, dog.
That right there doesn't go over. Now, you get injured, yes. Okay, we understand that stuff. You know, you may get the bell rung, but I'm tired. Normally, the starter, Notre Dame knows if I leave this game, my backup is not going to help the team like I could. 70, like I would always say in college, 70% of me is better than 100% of everybody else backing me up.
Sorry, Maniac.
And I stayed in the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, listen, man.
Doug, you're also the quarterback. I understand you just broke a long run, so check into a run play and just hand it off and catch your breath.